What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the best Canadian TV shows that are unknown here in the United States. As an American, I don't know too much about Canadian television, so today I thought it'd be fun to learn about what exactly we're missing out on down here. So I want to take a look at this little Reddit discussion where somebody asked, what are some good Canadian television shows that are unknown in the United States? Stuff we don't know about that maybe we need to know about. I feel like I'm getting a little peek behind the curtain here. Maybe this stuff wasn't even meant for Americans to know about. All right, starting with The Littlest Hobo. The Littlest Hobo. I've never heard about that. It almost sounds like a kids show. The Littlest Hobo? Like the littlest train that could, or something. What is this? Let's see what Google has to say. The Littlest Hobo is a Canadian TV series that aired from 1963 to 65, in syndication, and again in 79 to 85. The series is about a German shepherd named Hobo. Oh, this is good. Okay. Who helps people in need by helping them solve their crisis. This is the most Canadian TV show I've ever heard of. Little German shepherd named Hobo helps people in need, like any respectable Canadian dog would, I imagine. Well, not just in need, helps them solve their crisis. The show is based on the American film of the same name. Oh, I've never heard of it. The Littlest Hobo. I actually want to try to look this up on YouTube. Littlest Hobo. Oh, is this a live action show? I thought this was going to be like a cartoon. Wait a minute.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me
Oh,
down the road.
okay.
Is where I'll always be.
London. Is that the dog's name?
I make
Is that Hobo?
a friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle
What?
until
He's in a hot air balloon. Hobo, get out of that hot air balloon. I feel like I could be on that show. I could say that. I could be the guy who says that line. Hobo, get out of that hot air balloon. We got crime to solve. I'm not sure if for some reason, I want this dog to be like a crime solving detective dog. I think he just more helps with crisis, whatever that means. That's not what I thought that was going to be. I thought this was going to be like a kids show. I thought it was going to be like a cartoon. I guess because I couldn't imagine they actually got a real life dog to do the show, but they did. And like, that's pretty amazing. I'm actually real curious, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. But I just want to see what this dog does during these episodes. This has captured my attention. Does this video just need to take a U-turn and become a Littlest Hobo video? No. Let's see what other Canadian TV shows are out there, unknown to people like me in the United States. The Littlest Hobo, that's funny. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just be moving on. Is that like a Littlest Hobo poem or like famous line? Do people get that tattooed on their chest or something? Okay, moving on. What else do we have? That's good. I'd never heard of that show before. Makes sense. That's kind of the point. All right. I don't and I've never lived in the United States. So I really don't know what's known and unknown there. Well, I will clear that up in a second here then. A few homebrew shows I've really enjoyed. Kids in the Hall. That sounds familiar to me. Kids in the Hall. I don't know what this is. It's a Canadian sketch comedy troupe formed in '84. I don't. No. I heard of this in some other Canadian video on YouTube. I did not know about this as an American. I learned about this on YouTube at some point. Kids in the Hall. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. What is that again? It's a comedy? from 1988, and there's like a famous comedy troupe: Dave Foley, Bruce McCulloch, Kevin McDonald, Mark McKinney. Okay, cool, cool. It's a sketch comedy. I did not see that's cool. I didn't know Canada had like a sketch comedy show. Like I even am more aware of that kind of thing in British shows, which is kind of known for comedy, and American sketch comedy like Saturday Night Live or something. But there's Canadian version as well. That's awesome. Corner gas, corner gas. I remember learning about corner gas in a different video as well. That's like Canadians at a gas station, right? And for some reason that's a popular show. Orphan Black. I think Americans know of Orphan Black. By the way, Americans don't know corner gas. That's another one I heard somewhere along the line in a YouTube. Orphan Black? I don't know. The name almost sounds familiar, but I can't say this is known or popular in the US. Schitt's Creek. I've definitely heard of this. I have no idea what it's about. Is this popular in Canada as well? I know this is very popular in the United States. Like for sure, for sure. What is this show? In the sitcom Schitt's Creek, a wealthy couple, video store magnate Johnny and his soap opera star wife Moria find themselves broke. Okay, with only one remaining asset, a small town called Schitt's Creek. Their asset is a town. They own a town. How do you own a town? How's their asset an entire town called Schitt's Creek, which the Roses bought years earlier as a joke? How's that a joke? People live there. People's livelihoods exist in this town, and you bought it as a joke? Are these people supposed to be likable, empathetic? This once wealthy couple must give up life as they know it with their two spoiled children and leave their pampered lives behind. Okay, that could be funny. Is this a Canadian show? Because I think this is really quite popular in the United States. Mr. D? Mr. D? Never heard of Mr. D. Follows a teacher juggle through being a teacher and deal with his students while trying to maintain his not-so-cool lifestyle? Is this Mr. D... No. Maybe this is it. I don't think that's the right Mr. D. Mr. D, what do we have here? Here we go. A Canadian television series starring comedian Jerry D. Okay, I've never heard of this before. This is featuring some Canadian comedian. Okay. The series follows the misadventures... Oh, wait, no, this is about the school teacher. Oh, this is the same thing. Jerry Duncan? Mr. D. Okay, I understand it now. Never heard of that. I don't think that's known in America as well. Kim's Convenience? Never heard of it, which makes sense. It's a sitcom. This is some kind of Canadian sitcom. While running a convenience store in Toronto, oh, there we go, members of a Korean-Canadian family deal with customers? Oh my god, this is like corner gas. That's like what life is like at a gas station in the middle of nowhere. This is like the opposite, though, somehow. This is like a convenience store in the middle of one of the biggest cities ever. Dealing with customers. Oh, God, that sounds like it might stress you out watching that show. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to go home and, like, watch a show about people going to work, dealing with terrible customers. Oh, man. Okay, what else do we have here? Canada's Worst Driver. Canada's Worst Driver. This sounds a little familiar. Is this... This is literally where they just show, like, Canada's Worst Driver. This is not popular in the United States. I mean, the name is Canada's Worst Driver. But I think this would be so popular. Like, if Americans got on board, expanded their horizons, and learned about this show, that would be freaking hilarious. I want to check out that show at some time. Like, just the name alone. When can you ever just read the name of a show and be like, I want to see that. I got to see that. Canada's Worst Driver. Canada's Worst Handyman. Oh, bless Canada for these shows. Oh, Red Green Show. I've reacted to the Red Green Show once or twice. This is like a really popular Canadian comedy. Americans don't know about this one for sure. I never knew about this. This is a really cool show with some like the main guy Red Green, who's like a handyman with a heart of gold and really quirky. That's my little explanation. I've seen some clips of this show, and it is really, really funny, and he is really talented. Okay. Yes, that definitely belongs there. That is definitely not known in the United States, although I think it's been. I looked it up one time, and it's been broadcasted in certain areas, but definitely, like, no one knows about it, in general. Kenny versus Spenny for the adults with juvenile humor. I think Americans know Kenny versus Spenny. That sounds familiar? What is this? Kenny vs. Spenny is a Canadian reality comedy television series. That's a mouthful. Starring Kenny Holtz and Spencer Rice, where they face against each other in competitions. That's the whole show? They face each other in competitions? Okay, I want to see if I can look up a clip of this, maybe. Kenny vs. Spenny? Well, Kenny Holtz has his own YouTube channel there. Okay. Is this like a clip from the show? I just want to see a little clip just to get an idea of what's happening.
This program contains material which is suitable for adult viewing only.
Oh,
the
boy.
activities carried out are extremely hazardous, are not endorsed or recommended by
Oh,
Showcase,
boy.
and should not be attempted by...
Okay. Now that's always what you want to hear on your YouTube video. Okay, let's just see them talking on a couch. What could go wrong? They're talking on a couch.
It has tentacles, it attacks small sea creatures, and sometimes it spits ink at people. Spenny, who is used to having crabs on his
Okay. We're done. That's enough. Okay, we're done. All right, that's Kenny versus Spenny. It's literally in the comment if I had paid attention. Kenny versus Spenny for the adults with juvenile humor among us. Got it. All right, moving right along. North of 60, effing incredible. North of 60? I've never heard of that before. North of 60? What is this? It's a mystery drama series about the trials and tribulations of Aboriginal people in the fictional town of Lynx River, Northwest Territories. Really? Well, yeah, there's no way this would be shown in the United States or that anyone in the United States would know about it because most Americans don't even know what the Northwest Territories are, funny enough. But this is really cool. Like, this is drawing attention to like something that I think is probably pretty underrepresented in television. It's a drama depicting life of subarctic northern boreal forest in the Northwest Territories of a Canadian Indigenous community. Really? This is a drama? There's a restaurant motel owner, Ukrainian immigrant, band manager. Holy cow, they can make a drama out of anything these days. Okay, North of 60. Interesting. And this person says it's incredible as well. That show always ties up with Due South in my mind, but only because they were on in the same era and heavily Canadian programming we have here. What is Due South? Is that a TV show? Yeah, TV show. Due South? Due South. Canadian crime comedy drama. A lot of comedies in Canada that I never knew about. This is fun to learn about. Television series. What is it about? Due South? Due South? Follows the adventures of Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Brenton Fraser. Oh, this is the Mountie who comes to Chicago. I think I read about this once as well. Yeah, I know. You know what? I know a thing or two about Canadian TV. I'm actually proud of this. Some of this stuff I'm actually remembering. Due South. That's with the Mountie who goes to Chicago. That's hilarious. And this person kind of likens it to North of 60. Okay, cool. Mr. Dress Up? I've heard Canadians mention this before. Mr. Dress Up. I never heard about this until I started learning about Canada on YouTube. So, Mr. Dress Up is a kids show? Canadian children's television series starring Ernie Combs, a former understudy of Mr. Rogers. Oh, cool. This is like the Canadian Mr. Rogers. Right, that sounds a little familiar. Most Americans would not know this one, but that sounds a little familiar to me. Cool, cool. Working Moms? I know it was filmed in Canada. Working Moms is so good and hilarious. And it's filmed in my neighborhood. What? What is Working Moms? Is this what the title implies? Is it about working moms? Working Moms. Canadian television sitcom. From 2017. This is the first, like, modern sitcom, I think. Although I think Schitt's Creek is kind of modern, right? Maybe I'm behind the times a little bit. 2017. A group of friends dealing with the challenges of being working mothers, as the title would suggest. Okay, cool. Very cool. A lot of Canadian television programs. Like, some of these I've heard of because they're just that good. I think they've gotten critical acclaim even here in America. But a lot of these I've never heard of, honestly, which is surprising in a way. In a way, surprising. But in a way, that's kind of the point. Is that for one reason or another, they're not known here in the United States. CBC still standing. It's wholesome, but it really does warm the soul. It's by the CBC, still standing. Okay. It's a reality? What's it about? Comedian Johnny Harris explores small towns on the ropes, performed stand-up shows for the locals who've stuck it out, and proves to Canadians how to what? How to what? What does he prove? Oh, here we go. I was going to lose it there in a second. What is this? Towns that are against the ropes but still hanging in there? The show's premise is to tell the story of small towns in Canada and how they've overcome struggles. Really? CBC still standing. Oh, that sounds cool. And wholesome as well. That does sound. Wow, still standing. Small Canadian towns that are struggling but made it. Oh man, that might bring a tear to your eye. Oh, here's a little list. What's this? Canadian TV shows that are unknown in the US. This is for sure, because these are French. And here in America, we don't believe in French. We think it's made up. It's a figment of our imaginations. No, we just don't know anything about it. Dans une galaxie pleine de chez vous. No idea, could mean anything. I could have just said anything. Can I do a French to English translator? French to English. What does this mean? In a galaxy near you. Okay. In a galaxy near you? Yeah. Oh man. And this didn't even really come up when I Googled it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get. No, it did come up. What am I talking about? There it is. Wow. So these are like French Canadian TV shows. And even the Wikipedia is in French? Wikipedia, I should say. Oh man, I can't even read this stuff. I'm just going to have to take your word for it. These are definitely Canadian TV shows that are unknown in the US. And even though they're right in front of me, I can't really understand what they're saying. But wait, c'est comme ce que je t'aime? Does that mean I love you? I think that says. I learned a little French like one semester in middle school. I know a thing or two. All right. Anything else here? What is this? It's not completely unknown in the U.S. Well, then we can't know. That doesn't make the cut. If it's any somewhat known, that's known in the U.S. Oldies but nostalgic. Student bodies. Student bodies. Student bodies. A serial killer with heavy breathing. Serial killer with heavy breathing systematically kills students and teachers. Okay. Interesting stuff you Canadians are watching. Interesting. Ready or not. All right. What is this? Ready or not? Bride's wedding night takes a sinister turn when her eccentric new in-laws force her to take part in a terrifying game. Am I looking up the right thing? Ready or not, Breaker High? Are these Canadian horrors? Is this person just into the true crime? Breaker High. It does have Ryan Gosling, huh? Breaker High, what is that? Teen comedy drama. Here we go. Airing on YTV in Canada. What's this about? Breaker High? Add Ryan Gosling. That's funny. What is this? Synopsis. Set in a high school on a cruise ship? Sometimes I read these descriptions. I'm like, what is you know what? Okay, that's TV for you. High school located on a cruise ship. Apparently there's something really like that, allowing the episodes to be set in different exotic locations. It featured dating, finances, friendship, steers away from tougher situations. Okay. Very good. Like Degrassi. Degrassi wasn't on this list, but I think that's appropriate because I think Degrassi found like a bit of an audience in the United States. When they started showing it on this one channel, when I was like, I don't know, 13 or something, I was hooked. I was like, what is this stuff? Why are these people saying about like that? Or sorry? What is this? Why is everyone pregnant? Degrassi was good, but this was all good today. Canadian TV shows unknown in the United States. I think these are actually fantastic answers because I found myself Googling nearly everything. A couple of things here I've heard of, but that's just because I learn about Canada on YouTube. Otherwise, I would never have even known about the couple I remembered here, and a whole bunch I'd never heard of. So there is indeed a ton of Canadian television shows that we are missing out on here in the United States. I'm not shocked, but I do feel like I'm missing out a bit. Some of this stuff I might try to check out a little bit. I might not be able to help it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your favorite Canadian TV show that is unknown in the United States. That'd be fantastic to learn about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.